Section 1 of The Logic of Vegetarianism by Henry S. Salt. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Section 1. The Moralist at the Shambles. Where slaughtered beasts lie quivering, pile on pile, and bare-armed fleshers, bathed in bloody dew, ply hard their ghastly trade, and hack and hew, and mock sweet mercy's name, yet loathe the while the lot that chains them to this service vile, their hands in hideous carnage to imbrue. Lo there, the preacher of the good and true, the moral man with sanctimonious smile. Thrice happy beasts, he murmurs, 'tis our love, our thoughtful love, that sends ye to the knife. Nay, doubt not as ye welter in your gore, for thus alone ye earned the boon of life, and thus alone the moralist may prove his sympathetic soul, by eating more. Introductory. It is the special purpose of this book to set forth in a clear and rational manner the logic of vegetarianism. To the ethical, the scientific, and the economic aspects of the system much attention has already been given by well-accredited writers, but there has not as yet been any organized effort to present the logical view, that is, the dialectical scope of the arguments, offensive and defensive, on which the case for vegetarianism is founded. I am aware that mere logic is not in itself a matter of first-rate importance, and that a great humane principle, based on true natural instinct, will in the long run have fulfillment, whatever wordy battles may rage around it for a time. Nevertheless, there is no better method of hastening that result than to set the issues before the public in a plain and unmistakable light. I wish, therefore, in this work to show what vegetarianism is, and, a scarcely less essential point, what vegetarianism is not. For though, owing to the propaganda carried on for the last 50 years, there has been an increasing talk of vegetarianism, and a considerable discussion of its doctrines, there are still very numerous misunderstandings of its real aims and meaning. In this, as in other phases of the great progressive movement of which vegetarianism is a part, to give expression to a new idea is to excite a host of blind and angry prejudices. The champions of the old are too disdainful to take counsel with the champions of the new. Hence they commonly attribute to them designs quite different from those which they really entertain, and unconsciously set up a straw man for the pleasure of pummeling him with criticism. Devoid always of a sense of sympathy, and mostly of a sense of humor, they absurdly exaggerate the least vital points in their adversary's reasoning, while they often fail to note what is the very core of the controversy. It is therefore of great concern to vegetarianism that its case should be so stated as to preclude all possibility of doubt as to the real issues involved. If agreement is beyond our reach, let us at least ascertain the precise point of our disagreement. With a view to this result, it will be convenient to have recourse now and then to the form of dialogue, so as to bring into sharper contrast the pros and cons of the argument. Nor will these conversations be altogether imaginary, for, to avoid any suspicion of burlesquing the counter case of our opponents by a fanciful presentment, I shall introduce only such objections to vegetarianism as have actually been insisted on, the stock objections, in fact, which crop up again and again in all colloquies on food reform, with sometimes the very words of the flesh-eating disputant. It is not my fault if some of these objections appear to be foolish. I have often marveled at the reckless way in which those who would combat new and unfamiliar notions step forth to the encounter, unprovided with intellectual safeguards, and trusting wholly to certain ancient generic fallacies, which, if we may judge from their appearance in all ages and climates, are indigenous to the human mind. Many of the difficulties which the flesh-eater today propounds to the vegetarian are the same, mutatis mutandis, as those which have at various times been cast in the teeth of the reformer by the apologists of every cruel and iniquitous custom, from slave-holding to the suttee. To show the unreality of these sophisms, by clearing away the misconceptions upon
Sample complete. Ready to continue?